It's looking like we live. Hey
Good evening,
guys,
guys.
welcome to Opinion. Is it
Welcome,
on?
guys.
Is it on the Let me see when it come on to the YouTube. I don't see it on the YouTube yet. I don't see it. Okay, so let's see if we got any. Let's see. Let's see. Does it show?
No, I don't see it showing on YouTube either.
It says live, and oh, it shows 5 people are watching. It gotta be on.
Oh, okay.
Y'all see us, guys? I don't know. I
Sorry.
don't see. Let me see.
Okay. Okay, here we go.
Guys. Oh, okay, so now is that yours or mine?
Mine's. Okay, we on.
Hey guys, welcome to Opinion.
Good evening, ladies and gents. Welcome to our show, Opinions. I am Ebony Njcole. She is
Elisa Matisah.
Yes.
And we back live.
Co-host. What's going on, co-host?
Nothing much. I'm just here. How was your 4th of July?
It was nothing. I mean, I didn't really do anything for the 4th. I don't see no celebrating in it for me anyway. I just had some orders. I worked with the business, and that's really it. I just relaxed and did stuff in the house.
Okay. I don't know. I don't think we we can't be live on thing because why didn't it give me a notification? Did it give you a notification for YouTube?
No. Oh yes, it did. Yes, it did. We are.
Oh, okay. So it must be live. Okay. All right. So first and at 5:15 we're gonna have our special guest come on. His name is Rasun. You're gonna meet him. He overcame a murder conviction. He's back. You know, he's doing great things right now. But before he comes on at 5:15, we're gonna do some hot topic talk.
Yes.
So the hot topic talk that we're gonna get into is August Alsina and Jada Pinkett. Y'all gotta let us know what y'all think about that.
Listen to me, E. They are going ham on them on social media. Like did you see the memes?
No, not really. I did not see it.
So first explain to the people what is the allegations.
The allegations is that, Will and Jada have an open relationship. So within their open relationship, they've had relationships with other people. And I guess the one
allegedly.
Allegedly. Yes. So the one person that I guess Jada supposedly had a relationship with was August Alsina. So we didn't know that. We just saw pictures of them, but there has been a lot of speculation that they were together.
Yes. So, and those who don't know who August is, he is an R&B singer. Go ahead.
He's an R&B singer, and he just interviewed and I guess broke the story as to they were actually together. So
like a couple.
I don't know. What do you think about it?
Well, first, do you believe the story in his interview with what's the girl from 106? I mean not 106. With Charlamagne and them.
Angela Yee, yes.
Right. She said, well, in their interview, he said that Will Smith gave him his blessing, to start this relationship with her. And he said that he was in this relationship with her for a few years and that she had his heart. He was like, I can die right now knowing that I gave her my 100% heart. Mm-hmm. Do I believe it? I don't know. To an extent, I do. But why would he lie? And everybody was saying that, he might want a good story because his album, I think his album just was released, just came out. Mm-hmm. And but I don't judge nobody's relationship. If y'all guys got an open relationship and you good with it and y'all happy, then do you. Everything is not for everybody.
Yeah.
But I say kudos to them.
That's what I'm saying too. I'm like,
hey, everybody in the chat room.
Yes, we're using a new platform now that's streaming both to YouTube and to Facebook, and I'm loving it right now because it's bringing all the comments into one. Do you see it, Ebony? Do you see all the comments? Because it's I don't know if you.
Yes, I see the live chat. Hi guys, welcome to Opinions.
Yes.
So what's your thoughts? First, do you believe the accusations? Do you believe?
I definitely believe it. He was too like emotional when he was speaking to Angela Yee. I absolutely think that he is sprung. He's like hurt right now, and I definitely believe him. I think that Jada Pinkett and Will Smith, even though it was speculation that they have an open relationship, I definitely think that they
Oh,
anyway, getting back, girl, like Beyonce, you gotta keep moving. So
yo, put that on mute.
So as I was saying that, yeah, I definitely believe him. He was way too emotional.
Yeah, but in the past it was talks about him. Well, he even said it. Him having mental, health issues. Yeah. Not saying that, but a lot of people looking at it like, listen, he be 730 sometime. He coming out with these stories. I don't know. Again, if it is true, listen, live your life. Like if that works for you guys' marriage, then live on. Who are we to judge? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I'm definitely don't judge at all, but I think he does have some mental issues, but I don't think that he's lying. Like I don't think when you have a mental issue that causes you to make up stories.
Right. You don't think he will lie about this?
Yeah, I don't think he's lying. I think that he's really hurt. And I think like Stacey said, she's pretty sure a lot of men will love it this way. I think so too. Like he got an older hot woman. And listen, he's young, he's impressionable. I'm not even gonna front myself. Let me meet me a young boy who's well established, who's making money, and I can mold him and make him into like the man that I want him to be. Because at our age, they're already done, cooked, baked, already like burnt, literally, burnt literally. So I wouldn't mind a youngin' that's well established, and Jada's doing her thing.
So why do you think at this point, you so in love with me or he's so in love with Jada? Why come out? Why come out and put her on blast? Why do that?
I think he put her on blast because something had to happen. It sounds like he's hurt. It sounds like he's about, the relationship. Obviously, something happened where maybe Will put a stop to it. Jada said she can't do it no more. It's going too far. And I do think that they are life partners and that situation, I just think they probably have an agreement where, you can do you, but don't get too emotional. Maybe it was getting too much.
Don't get crazy with it.
Yes. And I think the way he's seeming, like it looked like it was getting crazy. And that I think that might be the secret to a lot of marriages.
Right. Venus asks, did Jada or Will speak on the topic? Hey, V, they haven't. I mean, they spoke to their the agents that's speaking for them on social media, and they're saying that it's not true. Both of them, Will Smith and Jada, says it's not true. Now, E, my question to you is, are you up for this arrangement? Would you be able to be like, listen, let's have this open relationship? Sometimes I know you want to dibble and dabble. So, if you want to get a little crazy one night, come to me, talk to me, and we can make arrangements for that. Open relationship. Are you open to that?
I think as we get older, I might consider it. It would depend. Like I know, like I've said before, like I think I spoke to you about it before. Like I had a psychology class where we talked about open relationships and polygamy. And they in my psychology class, they were saying they talked about a lot of religions that's into polygamy, and a lot of people that are polygamous, they say like it's a village, they all helping each other. It's like a big
like a big family.
Nobody's depressed. Everybody's everybody's happy. Like
they take turns with him. They take turns with the guy. Listen.
No, but the woman, listen, on my thing, the woman, what I would need to do me too. I'm not gonna be no polygamy being having sister wives while he's chilling and I don't got a man. No, I'm not gonna be doing no, a bunch of women and I'm just with one man. No, I'm gonna be doing me.
You're gonna have your friends too.
Yes.
I get what you're saying. Listen, I'm a realist, right? And I'm not saying all men cheat, but majority of them, somewhat cheat, you know, women too. But I'm a realist, and I feel like in your relationship, especially when you're in long-term relationships, sometimes it gets routine, you get a little comfortable. And for me, if my husband, my partner will come to me and be like, listen, you know, we need to spice it up a little bit. Maybe I need something a little extra. I'm not going to tell you that I would say no. Because I know than you cheating. Like I told you this all the time. Then you cheating, and I'm finding out that you cheating with Becky up the block. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I think I would be open to, if you're being honest with me, if we have a real, true, honest conversation, and you guys can deal with it. You got to be built for that.
Yeah, exactly.
I think if you have a conversation with me, and you know we have an understanding, I might, you know, be like, all right. The old son on the side.
Yeah.
No.
They say
I'm crazy. They be like, bleh.
I mean, from my psychology class, they were saying that it's really not, it's like the world shouldn't be like this anyway. Like that's not what it's meant to be, is to be exclusive to one person. And a lot of times in my psychology class, they saying it's not natural. That it's natural for us humans to be attracted to other people and engage with other people in whatever, sex, whatever. Like we should be like.
We gotta have a whole show on that.
Huh?
We gotta do a whole show on this.
Yeah, we gotta be a happy. They say it takes a village to raise a child. It takes a village to be happy and do the things.
Very true.
So I'm all for it.
I don't mind having a sister wife.
Hey,
girl, take him away. I want to miss him. No, he's not.
He said, what if he wants Becky up the block more and more? Like, what would you do if he starts like going with Becky up the block and he's
But listen, that's why I say you guys got to have an understanding. You guys got to be on the same page. Now, if you're not on the same page and he going up to Becky and y'all don't have that conversation, then that's an issue. That's what I'm saying. You got to be with somebody that's grown and that respects you. Some guys and some females.
See, I think people are getting confused with an open relationship and a swinger relationship. It's
right.
two different things. So
that's true.
He goes up with Becky up the block. That's what an open relationship is, and that's what Will and Jada allegedly have. It's an open.
Right.
We're not all doing it together. He's doing
right.
His, I'm having my relationships outside of him, and I don't know about the swinging thing. I don't know if that's for me. I don't.
Yeah, no. That's when we cross the line. I don't think swingers. I'm just saying open relationships periodically.
Mm-hmm.
And mainly for him, not really for me, because when I'm with one person and you doing what you're supposed to be doing for me and to me, I'm good in a relationship, in a committed relationship. But I know on occasions when you in relationship, guys just want that newness. They just want that new booty, and it's just facts.
I think so too.
You know what I'm saying? It's
and
facts.
I feel Jada's relationship, I think they have an understanding because they make sure they always emphasize we are life partners.
Right, exactly.
Life partners, and they was like, and like she said, Jada said one time, and I'm quoting her. She was like, you know, he could be over there with one chick, I could be over here with somebody else, but you know what? We gonna be up in this joint together. We ain't going nowhere. We're gonna be married forever.
You ain't going nowhere.
Yes.
You think you could be on that type of?
I think I would try. I think I would like it. To be honest, because you know what? There's sometimes one person cannot fulfill all your needs. They can't, and so they always say we never happy. It's never enough. It might be enough when I have John Doe. This
Because you know what? It's crazy because you can have one person giving you fulfilling your sex dreams or your sex life, like he's crazy in the bedroom, and then you have somebody else that just stimulates your mind. Like his conversation is crazy. Like, you know what I'm saying? He gives me motivation to do things. Like, but you crazy in the bed.
Yes.
But you don't give me all that stimulation, my brain. You know what I'm saying? So it is true. I be praying I get both, like Jesus. When it comes, who's this?
I'm sorry, go on. I was saying
when it comes, I'm praying that I get both. When I do, when God do send me somebody.
Lisa says these men these days always want shit their way. It's 2020. If you want another partner, so do it. I'm not sharing. I don't want nobody else getting my goods. These men should be more honest from the gate. Ain't no fun.
Respect.
Not getting it neither.
Respect that.
Yeah. Yes. Okay, so I'll get
respect that.
And I'm about to let him in. I hope I don't see his picture up. So hopefully when I click on the thing, like I said, y'all see the topic of our show, and that's what it's gonna be about. So he's gonna tell our story, our story. Okay,
yes.
Just one moment. Let me add him.
And after he tells his story, you guys can chime in if you have any questions.
I don't see you. Your camera's not on.
Hey, you can hear me?
I hear you.
We can hear you, but you got to click on camera.
Oh. What camera? I don't know. Okay, there
you go.
You trying to hide?
Hey, no, that's a picture. That's his picture.
Is that a picture?
That's a picture?
Oh, no, not. Okay, what is going on?
Oh, it's not.
Is your camera
on? It should be if you just took a picture.
No, you gotta. We just saw you. You gotta press whatever you did again. Okay, here we go. There you go. Not now.
Oh, I just gotta keep my own thing on. How y'all doing? What's going on?
Welcome. Is it Rasun or Rasun?
Because I don't know.
Rasun.
We're gonna get into that in a minute.
Welcome to Opinions. First, we want to thank you so much for joining us and sharing your story. You know, some people don't get on platforms to, share their story. So we appreciate you for taking some time out, coming in, just sharing your story with us.
I got you. We in here.
Yes. E?
So yes, I'm gonna introduce you. I knew you from when we was like 8 years old.
Yeah.
I was like 8 because y'all 2 years older than my brother.
Right.
I remember the last time I saw you, we was kids, is when you broke your arm when we were in the backyard. And I never saw a broken bone before. That was the first time I ever saw a broken bone. But that's where we knew each other from. We're gonna get right into the story right now. When you were 15 years old, 15, was it 15, 16?
I was 17.
16, right?
17. Yeah, my co-ed was 16. He was younger than me.
Okay, so it was 16. I thought it was 4, y'all.
It was 4. No, it was the 4 who went to prison, but 2 of them, they got off.
Okay,
so nobody ever heard.
So originally 6, but 4. Got you.
Yeah.
Oh wow. Okay, so take us to the night. Okay, it was you.
Yeah, it was me, and it's crazy because it wasn't like planned or nothing like that. Things happen sporadically. When you're young, you just stepping out. So we stepped out doing nothing. This is what idle time does to you when you're doing nothing on a Sunday.
Your friends, like who these they all went to Curtis, because I remember. No, not all of them.
Yeah. Did they? 3 of us went to Curtis. 1 was older than us. He was in his 20s, and the other 2 were younger. So they was like in I think they was going like to 61 or something like that.
Oh, they was young. That's like 13 or something.
No, they wasn't going to 61. They wasn't. No, matter of fact, 4 of us were going to 1, 2, 3. 4 of us were going to Curtis, and 1 wasn't even. The young one, he wasn't even. Yeah, I think he was in 61 or something like that.
Okay, all right. So then y'all knew each other. Y'all was cool. Y'all was in New Brighton at this time, right? It was New Brighton.
Yeah.
And Staten Island, New Brighton.
Now, boy, you know how we do. So, we were just hanging out on the benches down the block in the projects, doing nothing, bored to death. Then we just started walking around. See, everybody just see the end result. This is just a bunch of teenagers sitting around doing nothing, bored to death, no direction, and then we just started walking around like a little group, just walking.
And y'all hailed the cab.
Nah, we were just walking recklessly, doing reckless stuff.
Okay.
Breaking stuff, chasing people. We all like 15, between the ages about 15, 17, except the oldest one. And then we walked around and right and everything. We wandered back in the projects, and then a cab just pulled up. We didn't even call him; he just pulled up. And we was going to a party. It was a party that somebody was telling us about. So he's like, let's take a cab and go up there. You know, back in the day, we was gonna take a cab, jump out, run. That was the plan. To get in the cab, jump
go
in,
to the party, jump out, and don't pay them.
Out, run, and then go up in it, a free ride.
Gotcha.
On the way there, a decision was made that we gonna get some money out the deal. And then everything just went left from that point. So from that point on, we got up in there, we jumped out, we was about to bounce, and then me, you know, I'm being on some fighting stuff. I started fighting with the dude. And that's when I heard the shot ring off.
Hold on. So all of you guys are in a cab, right? It's 6. Right. First of all, how is 6 of y'all in one cab?
Yo, look, we were skinny back then, so we can all cram up in there.
Yeah, sitting on each other's lap.
Back seat, 2 in the front. Okay. We crunched up in there.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
So take us back to when you guys got to the destination and you guys started getting out the cab.
He said
so we got out.
Okay.
So you know when you're young, everybody call cold feet. We just stand there looking stupid. Mm-hmm. And we looking at each other, and then, you know, like we was like, yo, let me get that bread. And he looking at me like, what? Like, what are y'all talking about? And then that's when the heat got pulled out. He pulled the heat out. That's when he knew, like, oh, I'm getting stuck. But he had a little resistance. He's like, nah, I ain't got no money. So me, the fighter, I was like, well, I'm gonna get something out of it. So we saw.
You saw the gun out already. You saw the gun out.
Uh-huh.
And he didn't shoot yet. He just started fighting him.
Nah, we just started fighting. That's you know that back then, you know, that was the thing. Cause you know, like this is worthless right now. So I'm just gonna get some wreck off. It was more recreation. It got a young kid fighting a grown man.
So the man is outside of so the taxi cab is outside of the car at this point.
I went to the driver's side and opened the door and tried to drag him out. Well, he didn't want to get out. And my Cody's on the other side. So, you know, you got the passenger side, the driver's side. I'm on the driver's side. He's sitting down and like trying to like block and all that stuff like that. And I'm just swinging and punching. They're on the other side. Okay. And the shot rang off. And when the shot rang off, I froze because I'm like, who's shooting? Because I'm thinking, you know, I don't feel nice. So I know I'm not shot. But I'm thinking in my mind, like, I know he ain't just clip him because I'm standing right here in line. So if he would have missed, I could have got hit.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So you know, we just run, we just bounce.
Where he got shot at?
Huh?
In his back.
He got shot at?
He got shot in his back, right?
He got shot like in a side by his chest because he was sitting down. So it came from like you gotta look at a car. If you on the passenger side looking through, that person is like his back is kind of turned, but he on the steering wheel, so it was like this way. Okay. And I'm right here. I'm on the left hand side of him. They on the right hand side of him, and then you know what I mean, like
yeah. Okay, so then y'all ran. Y'all didn't know if he was alive, dead, nothing at this point.
No, he was good. No, he was straight. He spent off. He left.
So he drove off and he was shot. I guess he didn't know he was shot at that point, probably.
I have the fans out there. Only thing I can say is that when I read the paper the next day, I was like, oh, we going down.
Oh, so you found out the next day that you guys allegedly murdered a cab driver.
Yeah.
Danielle said we interrupted him. She said, let him talk.
Look at Danny girl. We want to know some answers.
We're trying to get the we're trying to get the nitty gritty. Okay, so go on. Sorry.
Okay, so listen. The next day, you see it on the news, you said, or the paper?
The newspaper.
That a cab driver was murdered?
Yeah. Okay,
take us from there.
Then to be honest with you, I was like, man, whatever. It's time to live life now because it's about to go down. So at that point, we were just living life after that. Not going to school no more. I was like, I'm not going to school. I'm not following no rules because I already know what's going down. But the thing about it is, back then we don't know the severity of what's going on because we thinking, oh, you're gonna go to jail for about a couple months, come home. Like that's how ignorant we was to the game.
Yeah.
Right.
So when one day I'm walking up, I'm still walking through the projects. They took pictures of us and everything. At that point, I really didn't care.
Wait,
So
they
about,
Yeah.
I'm gonna say
like wanted, like you were wanted or something. Like, what do you mean they had?
no, like the police came and was taking pictures of us on the street.
Mm.
That's whoever they was talking to was like, oh, these are the people. They wanted to make sure that they had a picture of the right people.
Oh,
So they had witnesses.
No, they had no witnesses. People started running their mouths. They started talking. They had to put it like this. By the time I got arrested, they knew the whole story. They didn't ask me. They didn't ask me what happened. They just wanted to make sure that I was the same person on the picture. They knew the whole story already.
So do you feel like somebody seen it? Maybe somebody was in another car witnessing, or one of your friends, one of the 6.
the co-defendant said something.
The co-defendants ratted y'all out.
There was a few that got caught before we did, and this is my first experience of a rat.
Gotcha.
Because what we got told was just go in there, don't say nothing. I'm like, all right. But by the time I got there, they was like, we don't want your story. We already know the story. They told me the whole story, piece by piece, where it started at and where it ended. And I'm sitting like, how would they know that? Like I said, I'm still new to the game.
Yeah.
But they knew the whole story. But then how we figured it out was they split some of us and kept some of us together.
Well,
so at this point, did you ask for a lawyer? Like you at the precinct, they questioning you. Did you know to ask for a lawyer, or where's your parents?
No, my mom, they went to my house first. I didn't know this though.
Gotcha.
Well, I was told just don't say nothing. So they was like, you got anything to say? Nope. You want my statement? Nope. That's when I almost got a taste to get beat up by the police in the precinct because I wouldn't say nothing.
Right.
So I was at the 122, not the 120. So we thinking the 120 coming, but the 122 on the other side of Staten Island, that's who was really looking for us. So by the time when I was sitting in there, my mother already knew what time it was because they went looking for me there first. So she went and got a lawyer and all that. So they tried to get me to say what I needed to say before she got there. But I didn't say nothing. I just refused. I refused to write a statement, refused to talk to them, anything. I refused anything.
So then how did you end up being convicted then if you refused? You knew your co-defendants was talking. So
well, not all of them. Not all of them, just a couple of them. That's why they got let go early.
Talking. They knew the story from the beginning to the end.
But that's why they got let go early. Remember, 2 of them never got arrested. 2 of them got arrested and got let go. No bail, no charge, no nothing.
Those are the number 1 guys.
Yeah.
Okay.
So that's why we thinking that we gonna get, it's nothing.
Right.
You got caught and you got released. That's when I said we don't know the severity of it. Yeah. Cause we like, they got caught, we got released, so we good. So when we got caught, we think it's a game until they said no bond, y'all staying here.
Whoa.
What? What you mean no bond? And then we stayed there. That's when they had the whole story. Signed statements, everything, pictures, everything. They had a board full of pictures of us hanging out together, everything. They knew everything. We had a little clique called the Hit Squad. They knew everything.
Let me ask you a question. The taxi cab driver ended up dying.
Right.
So he died. So because we missed that part. Okay, so
yeah, he was still alive on the newspaper. Then the next day after that, that's when he said he died. So we getting out information from the newspaper.
Right.
So that's what I was like, yeah, it's a wrap. But at that time we're just gonna breathe easy and just do whatever, just live life, act like it ain't nothing. Until everybody started getting picked off one at a time. So when the 2 young ones got picked off and they let them go, we was like, all right, we good. But then when everybody else got picked off and they wasn't letting them go, I'm like, hold on, something wrong with this picture. But it's not based in my mind that this dude that I'm walking with is actually the one who was picking us off one at a time. So when I finally got jammed up, we was all up in a it's like a New Jack house on Rikers Island. So I said, what happened? They said, they told. The police knew everything from the beginning to the end. So we still don't know how much time we dealing with here.
Right.
Until
so y'all sitting on the island. How long
right.
you guys were sitting on the island until they charge you guys?
No, we got charged right away. I got charged as soon as I went to the precinct. Yeah, we got charged immediately. That's why it was.
But there was no camera. There was just word. You know what I'm saying?
You don't need a camera when somebody's there. See, I learned all this later on in prison, learning the law. You don't need.
But can it be their word against yours? You know what I'm saying? Why couldn't you say, "Yo, you killed them," and then he'd be like, "No, you killed." You know what I'm saying? How they took their word against yours?
Wait, because at the time we didn't know. At first, they just charged us. And when you 17 years old, you just like, and everybody's telling you, just don't say nothing. You straight.
Right.
Nobody's saying don't say nothing, go to trial, get a lawyer, don't write nothing. Even though I didn't, they told us don't write nothing, don't say nothing. That's what we did. But we didn't know that something was written and something was already told.
Yeah.
Who's telling you not to write something? Or who's telling you that?
You know, the OGs on the block that been through the system.
Gotcha.
They schooling us. Now that's a problem. That's when I said, if I would have had a father to tell me that.
Because that was my question to you.
Yeah, I would have known that.
Dad at? You know what I'm saying?
I never met my father.
Image in your life?
I never met my father. So I got all my information from the streets.
Got you.
I got all my information from the streets. Everything that I learned, all the bad stuff, all the good stuff, I learned from the streets.
Yeah.
Because my mom, like, at least my mom, if you see my mother and my sister, you're like, that is not your mother and sister.
I know.
I refuse
to
think that shit. I mean, when I say night and day, we're night and day. I got tattoos everywhere, bandanas all over the place. You look at them, you be like, what? That's your sister? Nah. Nah. They like, you adopted?
So when you weren't able to talk to your co-defendants during when all this was
we was on Rikers Down together in the same house.
Oh, so y'all was able to kind of get y'all stories and like be like, what you doing? What happened? Like, let's
they said they didn't need that. They said they got everything. They knew everything. Before we got arrested, they knew this is what the police said when I got arrested. He said, we don't want to know what you did. We know what you happened. Let me tell you what happened. And they told me everything that happened. And I'm sitting there and I'm thinking to myself, oh yeah, it's a wrap. But I ain't gonna find the time. I'm high as hell. I got mad weed in my system, and I'm just laughing because I told you I was just living life.
Yeah.
But at that time, I'm like, oh, it's over. Ain't nothing to do now. Wow. Just to sit here and rot in jail now. That's what I'm thinking at 17. Yeah. I'm like, yeah. Everybody on the whole strip did a bid. It's my turn. Wow. It's my turn. It's nothing to talk about. So what was your
sentence? Yeah. Did you plead or did you go to trial?
I took a plea. My first cop out was 10 years to 30. So they wanted to give me a 10 to 30 because they said I started the whole thing. They said if I would have never fought him, it'd never happened. I'm like, what?
But you didn't even kill it. Like you wasn't.
But think about it like this. See, later on, I thought about it. See, say for instance, we walking down the street, and you see two people over there minding their business, and I go over there and I start verbalizing with them. And then I punch one of them in the face. And then somebody I'm with, they start beating me up, and somebody I'm with shoots him. Who started the whole thing?
Yeah.
Me. I started. If I would have just minded my business and kept on pushing it, you know what I'm saying? Like, it would have never happened. This is what the prosecutor was telling me.
Okay.
Wow.
So I was like, so that's when I sat back. I was like, but to this day, I was like, you know what? Y'all not getting nothing out of me. That at the time, that's the code right there. But they said, like I told you, they said we don't need to know nothing. We know everything. They did that already. So I was like,
so at this point, you didn't think to go against what the other ones were saying about you, like was you ever sitting in jail like, yo, let me just really tell them the story? No, because you think that was snitching. Yeah,
that's what that is. That's the code. I was like, I'm gonna have to wear that. So we all just sat back and wore it. Gotcha. And we was just like, let's just get the best deal we can get, because the revenge will come back later on. Because at that time,
everybody took a plea.
Yeah, everybody took a plea. The lowest pleas was 15 years, 5 to 15. Okay. So I was able to get mine from a 10 to 30 to a 5 to 15. It took about a year to do that though.
So you did 5. So you took a 5 to 15.
Yeah.
And then the other 3, but.
Well, the one who did the shooting, he took the most time. They gave him 8. They gave him 8 years for that. But I asked him. I said, "Why would you go?"
that because he's underage?
No, that was
Right.
at the time in New York, that was the going rate for a murder charge.
8
Most people was getting 8. Most people was getting either 5 to 8 years back then.
For murder? Wow.
Yeah, because you
I
don't
would
get you get charged with murder, but it drops down to manslaughter because it wasn't purposely done. So the law is kind of funny. But like I told him when we was locked up, I said, why would you admit to that? Why don't you make them prove it? Don't admit to nothing. Make them prove it.
Right.
But by him saying that he did, when you admit, once you start saying that you did something, it's over for everybody else. It was a wrap. So now we just got to take a plea deal. I said, why would you tell him you did anything? I told him it wasn't me. I wasn't there. And they said it's not you. Nope, it's not me. That's why they wanted to beat me up. Because I wouldn't say that was me. I wouldn't say I was there. Because that's what I was told to do. Don't tell them you was there. Don't tell them nothing.
Right.
But when they got the statements from the other 2 that got arrested that told on them, they just said, "Ah, yeah, I did." They didn't know what was going on, type thing. I was like, man, y'all crazy. You know what I'm saying?
So how many years did you do?
I did 12.
12 years.
So how was it? Okay, so how was it in prison? Like all of those years, was you able to see your co-defendants? Like how was it?
Yeah. We was in the same jails together. It was 3 of us that was always together through the whole time. We was always together in Green. Then we was in Auburn. That was me and another one of my co-Ds. We was always together the whole time.
So let me ask you, how did your name change? Like, cause I'm wondering, is there like, cause I always think like it sounds Muslim, so I don't want to.
Right.
So I'm wondering, like, was protection? Did you turn into like, are you Muslim now?
Nah, not at all. See, all right. So you gotta think about it like this, right? So it's a lot of stuff that I learned a lot throughout that 12 years, right? Because we get blinded on the streets, and when we on the streets, we look at it like this is what it is. This is our life right here. But in there's a whole different life. When you in there, you forget about all this out here. When I left, cell phones just came out. When I came back, little girls had cell phones. I didn't even know what that was. I was like, "What's that? What's she talking? Who's she talking to?" They said, "Oh, that's a cell phone." Because the way that I lived in there, I wasn't able to keep up on the times. See, when you get in there, whatever you do in the streets, that's in the streets. See, a lot of people try to hold on to the streets, and when you hold on to the streets, that's when you just lose all sense of direction in there. Okay. So when I went there, now mind you, we talking about 1993. We're talking about 2.5 decades ago. This is when Green Correctional Facility was the wildest adolescent jail in New York State. Cutting, stabbings, death every day. We talking about 16-year-olds to 21-year-olds. Okay. 2,000 of us. Half of us is in there for murders. The other half was in there for other violence. So everything in the streets, I left it. But there's a lot that you lose in there, and that's why I'm
So then, how did it come to, like, did you turn to a religion there? Like, how did it come about that you?
No, so when I first got there was a couple people from around. You always got people from around your way there, and at the time I had because I was on bail, so I got shot. So I'm over there with all types of canes and all that stuff like that. So in my mind, when I got shot, it broke my leg, and I'm allergic to certain penicillin, and it's a mental thing. And they had to turn my leg was turned backwards, so they had to physically turn my leg without any anesthesia. Wow. So that was painful. So an old timer told me, "What's the most painful thing you ever had done?" I said, "When they had to turn my leg straight." He said, "Well, take that same thought process and use it in here, because you're gonna go through a lot of pain in here, physical." So being I know how to box, it's that type of environment every day. I just seen people get hot oil thrown in their face while they were sleeping, stabbed, killed, done dirty in the bathroom. So it's like, okay, this is a new life. So he said, just take what you know from the streets and apply that in here, but times it by 10. So in the streets, it's y'all talking, y'all beefing, you talk, whatever the case may be. Y'all might push each other, mush each other, then you start squaring off. It's nothing like that in there. is I see y'all watch UFC, right?
Mm-hmm.
When the bell rings, what do they do when you watch the UFC?
I don't watch it often.
They start fighting, right?
They start throwing blows. There's no talking, nothing boxing. You know, they doing all this because I'm a boxer, so I'm used to doing all this. No, not in there. You go in the bathroom, that's it. Ding, ding. That's all you hear.
So you
that's
had
all you hear.
Wait, Rasun, I still don't. Why was your name changed, or why did you decide to change your name?
It's gonna come later because now, you know, I had like tag name like E Nice, and at first I had my tag name was Face, Baby Face, because I looked so young when I went. I was like 15 years old, but I was 18. So these old timers called me Baby Face because I looked so young. I was like a baby when I was in there. No facial hair. I looked like I didn't even look like I belonged in there. And they had me in downstairs like the maximum reception. So they was like you either go into the adolescent max or you go into adolescent medium, depending on whatever classification they classify you as. So they classified me as a medium A, which is a high class medium. So it was a medium A, and then you got the maximum B right under it. So you mess up, you're going right to the max.
Right.
Maximum security. So they was calling me Face. I got a tattoo on my stomach and all that. So my name was Babyface. Face. And it just stuck because that's all people was calling me. But mind you, at this time, I'm just a street dude. Now, Rasun came years later. Years later.
Was that while you were in prison or years later after prison?
While I was in prison.
Okay.
Because it's an enlightening name. Because I got enlightened. And when I mean by enlightened, I'm not talking about like on the Muslim side to it. It's more like it started to get boring in jail. Every single day seeing the same thing. That's why sometimes when I'm looking on social media and people fighting and all that, I'm like, that's why I got to give myself a break from it. Because I'm so used to seeing that. I'm so used to seeing riots, getting beat up by the police, got my joints ripped out, stomped out by the police. I'm used to seeing all that. Like when I seen that black woman get hit by that black cop, and it made me so mad. I said, yo, why y'all got these people out there? Y'all don't understand. When you getting beat up by a regular person, you call 911. That's what people do, right? What happened when it's 911 doing it? Who you want to call?
Right?
So I'm like, what are y'all doing? When the police are people too, when they get mad, they hit back. There's no one there to stop them. Because when they beat me up, they just beat me until I couldn't move no more. That's what people not understanding. And that's why I'm like, I understand that riot life.
So, okay, so your name isn't Muslim. It's not related to like...
Nah, so my name is really, the origins is North African. So North African, so I created my name myself. So now, with the melanin as black people, we know we cannot survive without the sun. That's where you get the sun from. So the sun, if it's raining too much, that's why we can't survive in Washington State or Alaska, because there's really no sun out there, right? So Ra is the manifestation of the sun. Without the sun, you can't see plants, you can't see life, there's no life. So Ra means the scene. So in ancient Kemet, which is Egypt to the name that people will recognize, Ra means the scene. You see it. Okay. The sun allows you to see things. So you get Ra sun.
Okay.
That's where Ra sun came from.
Nice. I like that.
Yeah.
So and now the reason why people think it's Muslim is because of the origin land. See, what people don't understand is like, okay, your name is Elisa and Ebony. If I conquer your people, I'm not gonna change your name. I'm gonna make your name into my culture. So they didn't change their name, they converted them into Islam. So if I convert you into Islam, Ebony and Lisa becomes Islamic names.
Got it.
So let me ask you a question. Do you feel not having a father growing up? Do you blame that sometimes on your upbringing, being in the street, being reckless?
Yeah.
Do you feel like sometimes, wow, if I had a dad really active in my life, I probably would have had more structure?
Yeah, of course. You know what I'm saying? I blame my father all the time. And the reason why I say I blame my father all the time, because good or bad, that shows me what to do and what not to do. Yeah. See, I had to learn from all my family members how my father was, so I know what not to do.
Right.
So even though like I was reckless in the streets, I would overprotect my girl cousins. But the streets taught me to protect women. Like when dudes used to be beating up females in the projects, they like, you can't let that happen. If you ever see that happen, you got to jump in. That's who taught me that. My father's supposed to teach me that. So when I went to jail, that, you know, that's why regardless of what, I'm going to be respectful of women. And I'm like, yeah, whatever. You know, I might say something. Say something slick. They say something slick to me. No, I mean, because I had a female tell me the other day when I was at work, like I was going to die of the coronavirus. And she told me I'm going to die a brutal death on the coronavirus.
What?
Yeah, she told me. I was like, she said, because I didn't accept the blood of Jesus Christ. So I said, nah, I don't think that's going to happen no time soon. But I understand where your standpoint. I get angry right now. And I get what happens when you're in the house.
Yeah.
She was so mad that I was calm.
Yeah.
I said, you're not gonna get that from me. Now a guy, yeah, it might be something different. It might be something different.
So you did the most time out of everybody?
No.
Out of your co-defendants?
Oh,
you did? I think you did the most.
No, I ain't do the most. We all did almost the same amount.
All did the same amount. Okay.
Almost
Yeah, we all did. In the matter of like what they did. No one did more than 16.
16 was the most.
Oh, 16. And was that
16? Yeah, he did the most because when the crime bill came out, it required us to stay in there longer.
Okay.
It required us for the. That's why I say. That's why if you look on my page, I'm always coming at Joe Biden. Everybody like, oh, you a Trump supporter? No, I just don't like Joe Biden.
Yeah.
I mean, and it's because of what he said. I've been behind every single last crime bill since 1976. I was 1 year old. So you done set the tone for me to get locked up.
Yeah.
Well, not for me to get locked up. That was on me.
Right.
But I was only supposed to do two years.
But you know what it is? You know, I think it's different with you because you actually was involved in a murder, whereas people that crime bill applied to, why people are so upset about it, because it's those that might have got a weed charge or a cocaine charge. Those were the ones that got wrapped up into those long murder sentences.
No, not the
murder sentence.
No, not the. Remember, the crime bill is only for violent felony offenders. So with the drug one, that's the FDR law. Yeah. That's Franklin D. Roosevelt. Remember I think he was the governor and the mayor back in the 80s. He had the drug laws. The drug laws was if you get caught with a certain amount of drugs. So them dudes that were getting like 10, 15 years for like a half an ounce of cocaine, they was getting time way before we were. That's when everybody said you better off catching a murder charge than a drug charge. Because you'll come home first with a murder charge than a drug charge.
That's crazy to me.
Yeah, so they had to flip it. They said, how is somebody who would be caught with a gun get 6 months, 5-year probation? You get caught with a half a brick of cocaine and get 100 years. That was the FDR. That was the FDR laws. So they had to switch it because when I was there, that's when a lot of people who had them drug laws. Yeah, they changed the law. That's when they came with the flat bids and all that. And a lot of people who was locked up for drugs was going home.
Okay.
So they had to switch it because when the crime bill came and with violent felony offenders, and I understand that people are like, oh, but you was in there for something horrendous. I get it. I understand that.
And it was an actual murder.
I get it. I understand that. Okay. And you know, but at the time when I'm 18 years old, 19, 20 years old, that's not how I'm thinking.
Okay.
I'm like, oh, I messed up. Let me get my shot. And you know, somebody told me when I was in there, that's why I accepted it. It was like, and then, but I was in there with people who got caught with guns, unloaded, with 10 years.
Yeah.
So I see the damage it did. See, that's why I'm not gonna lie to you, never was stressed out. Because when I thought I got stressed out, you got to sit there and think, look what you're here for. Yeah. So I was like, I'm going to take that. Yeah, I'm going to take that. Okay. Yeah, I'm going to take that and I'm going to flip it. So I was like, you know, like I'm not, it's whatever. But if you got somebody in there with a gun for 10, 15 years, because that was his second or third time, I'm like, that's what the crime bill did. Yeah. So I seen him inside. And in there, it's a little bit different. It's different.
So look, we all know that it's rough in these streets. You know what I'm saying? Trying to maneuver as a black man, right?
Right.
But a black man with the record,
right?
How are you surviving? How are you maneuvering? Like, how are you managing?
And based on like your answer with that, I want to just say, because it's related to the same thing what Lamar Payton just asked. He said he's a story and experience what you went through while you were in. So my question is, Rasun, is what are some of the jewels you can offer some soldier in the street right now? So it relates to what Ebony's asking you, what is also asking you.
Oh, no question. See, when you in prison, you got different people that you can run to. Now, I'm going to tell you this. Yes, I was involved am involved in gangs, but people don't understand. Yeah, it's because you got. Because I'm a loyal person. You know what I mean? And you got to understand something. If it wasn't for that, I wouldn't be the type of person that I am now. See, I don't want you to look at it now. What you see now, understand why I became. So there's a documentary over there with the head of the Lion Kings. He'll tell you, if it wasn't for us, there would not be a such thing as a blood gang in New York to this day. For racism, the racism that we got on Rikers Island in upstate New York was ridiculous. But I mean ridiculous. And that's the reason why we formed like that. But the rules were, you have to be smart. You didn't take anybody. You got to learn the law. You got to learn your history. You got to protect your people. That was the rules. If you didn't, you got to go. But we're talking 20-something years ago.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So, and you just had to be a warrior. You just couldn't take anybody. So when I think back, all the revolutionaries that I know, Stokely Carmichael, excuse me, the SNCC, Fred Hampton. It's because of them. That's why I even know who these people are. Malcolm X. Malcolm X, I heard of him before. But until somebody gave me the book, and it was a gang member, he said, nah, you got to read this. You got to read this whole book before you even get to talk to us. This is what they gave me. So I read it. I was like, oh, snap. That's when I started reading the dictionary, because that's what Malcolm X did.
Okay.
See, I didn't know. So now the thing is, when you in there, it depends on who you run into. That's going to teach you what you need to know. And the problem with us as a people, especially as black teenagers growing up in there, we don't know who we're going to go to get the next piece of information from.
Right.
But I just happened to run into the gangsters that was smart. You got the one that leads you to the grave, that leads you into getting 100 years, and the one that want to see you go home and stay home.
Yeah.
You have different
I think
ones.
when we think of gangs, like when we talk about gangs, we only think of violence and shooting it. But I think a lot of, especially the guys that's in prison, it's more family, it's structure, it's teaching, growing. Am I correct?
No, you're absolutely correct. It's a brotherhood. And the reason why we did it like that is because, and this is why I get so mad out here now. We showed everybody what division does and unity does. We unified together, didn't hurt each other. We oppressed everybody who was oppressing us. Mm-hmm. That was it.
Yeah.
So it wasn't. So when we came through, they knew like, oh snap, those are shooters right there. So we can't do this with them here. So we became a threat. So when I seen that march of 200, 300, it almost made me cry because it reminded me that's how structured we were. If you go to a prison where this is how it was, a certain prison, you go to a prison, black man come through, you getting extorted, raped, robbed, all that. This is what black youth is going through. We talking about adolescents. This is what we going through. But nobody don't know that in the streets.
So as an adolescent, did you learn how to box? Because you didn't go in there as a boxer, right?
No, I know how to box before I even got arrested. I already knew how to box.
Oh, okay. So you knew to protect yourself anyway while you was in prison.
Yeah, that's why I was kind of good because you put me right back into my lane. With a razor, you can't fight, you can't beat me. You can have a razor. I don't need a razor because you got to be able to get close to me. And boxing, it teaches you to keep somebody up off of you.
So Patricia asked, she said, is it really any different in the prison system today? Like from the time you was in there up until today, is there any difference? Do you think there's a difference?
It's a big difference. It's a big difference because in the prison system, when I went in there, violence was the norm. Right now, you get new charges. We wasn't getting new charges. Put it like this. You could be fighting in the yard for your life and they'll just sit there and ring the bell and watch and wait until the backup come. So all that you stopping, police is coming? Nah, that doesn't exist in there. Oh, I'm going to the box today because you're not going to kill me in the yard. Now, you beat somebody, you break their jaw, you get a new charge, giving you 10 years. We didn't have that.
That's the truth. I heard about it.
So now, if you now fighting, they'll put you in the box, 15 days, you come out, everything good. Stabbing, you might go to the box 3 months, you fine. When I went to the box, 2 years straight. That's why when I seen that movie on Brian Banks and he went crazy over 2 months, I said 2 months? I did 2 years straight in the box. Wow. 2 years straight. And all because of with the process with the police. But to say it's different now, it's easier. It's like look, people be thinking, and people in the streets right now, they don't understand that the setup is to get you in there and keep you there forever. Forever. They don't understand what ALEC is. ALEC is the organization that does the free labor in prison. That's that 13th Amendment. They need to watch the 13th. That is so real. I sat there and I was like, because I was in a license plate shop. And I remember making license plates. I said, wait a minute, how much do they make in the streets? They said, no, they don't do the stuff in the streets. That's what we got y'all in here for. Yeah, oh, wow. Really? I refused all programs. Went back to the box. I refused all programs. You're not going to get free labor from me. That's what we don't.
If you're in prison and you did a crime, like, do you have a right to be dictating what you should and should? Like, don't you think that's a form of punishment of like making license plates? That's a form of punishment to me.
Nah, see, it's a form of punishment if you look at it from a like a moralistic standpoint. From an economic standpoint, that's how they're making money. And that's why people in the streets don't have no money. Why we don't have no jobs? Because all of us in there is doing it. Understand how this works. You get 10 cents an hour. 10 cents an hour. If y'all two were doing license plate, y'all be getting $100 an hour. How much money are we really saving you?
You think you should be getting the same pay as me as a law-abiding citizen? You think?
No. What I'm saying is they only do that because the federal government said you got to have certain hygienic products. But why give us the job when they got many people in the streets that can do that?
And they get paid for it.
To me, I sort of get the point though of having prisoners do it. To me, I'm just saying that's my opinion.
No. From a moralistic view, I get where you're coming from.
Okay.
But when you got 40 million people like right now that don't have a job, imagine if prisoners didn't do that. How many jobs would be in America right now?
And I'm employing somebody. Would I rather pay out to Ebony as a law-abiding citizen where I gotta pay her top dollar, or would I spend on a prison I can pay him 10 cents an hour?
And that's exactly what's going on. Of course, that's how you shave your costs, your overhead. That's definitely how you shave your overhead. But then that's on the economic side. That's why everybody's saying the real labor is in prison. So now somebody like me that did something and I knew the consequence, I can understand how people are slaughtering me and slandering me and all that. I get it. I understand that. But at the same time, if all three is together and I do a crime and I say I did it, but we all go to jail, why y'all got to go to jail?
Yeah.
If I said I did it and y'all didn't know that, they like, nah, we don't care. All y'all are going, because you know why? That's three people they can get into labor now.
So when you got, so you got out, like you did 12 years, right?
Right.
And you finally got you had issues in there where you kept getting more and more time, and then you finally got to the point where you actually got a date to get out.
Right. Scariest day of my life.
When you got out, like it was like, who came to pick you up?
Knowing that you going home.
Really?
Just imagine being in the house. You see how we in the house right now? Everybody going crazy. Just imagine you can't go outside. Imagine since March, you can't go outside, and in the year 2032, they let you out the front door.
Yeah, I feel you.
They said, okay, you good now. Just go. No rehabilitation. You don't get. Rehabilitation is a drug program and a 6-month violent program. So out of 12 years, I have 9 months of rehabilitation with constant violence. And you open the front, literally, I was in Queensboro. I'm not from Queens. Don't know where I'm at. It's 90 degrees. They opened the front door. You're free. Free to do what? Go where?
Oh, wow.
And they say,
where's your family? Where's your mom at this point?
So my mom was living in North Carolina. My cousin came and got me. Okay. So I don't know. So they opened the front door. They said, walk out. Could you please leave? This is the police. This is correction. Wow. They said, all right, you have a good one, and close the door. You get a check. I had a check. I don't have a bank account. What am I supposed to do with this? I have no money. Now, mind you, I left, there was payphones. I come back, there's no more payphones. Yeah. So you ever seen that movie, I'm Gonna Get You Sucker? I know how he felt when he was walking down the block with the fishbowl shoes. So when I got out, I looked around and I just started walking. It's 90 degrees. I hear music. I see cars. Never seen a Hummer before. I seen a Hummer with rims, and I look like a straight tourist. I just kept on walking, and you don't really want to. Can I use your phone real quick? Because you could tell I came from prison. I mean, we just stand out like a sore thumb, and I found a payphone. The only thing I remember is pressing 0. You gotta do all this other crazy stuff they tell you what to do and all that with a payphone. I had my cousin's number in a book. So here I go with this big notebook going through my numbers. This is what we don't know nothing about this in prison, because you remember your numbers, but I wasn't calling my family because my family left me in there.
I was gonna ask you that. You didn't have no friends, no girlfriends. You ain't have nobody.
Nope.
Nothing. Okay.
Understand this. At the age of 17, and they say you got 15 years on the maximum side. Yeah. When they put the handcuffs on me, it took the handcuffs on everybody I knew when they left.
And do you have no resentment towards your family? Like, cause you said they weren't there. Do you have any kind of resentment towards them? Like now?
I did at first. You grow in there. I was like, oh, I was around when y'all was going through it, but everybody gonna leave me in there like that. So I didn't care. Yeah. That I don't care thing is so damaging to a black youth mind. When you say I don't care, we take that literally. I don't care. And when you're 18, 19 years old and everybody turned their back on you, my mom was there. She did the whole 12 of me. Every single one.
That's good.
She was the only one. Wow. Even my sister bounced out. I heard from my sister twice in there. But I didn't come home with a grudge. Yeah. Because like I said, that wasn't nobody's fault. So you can't hold a grudge when it's your fault.
Yeah, I agree.
You just can't. I can't. I don't hold no grudges against nobody that turned their back. But I do know that the streets caused me to go to prison. And what I mean the streets, trying to live a lifestyle that I ain't have to do. So now when you got people that actually, like when I see people on the streets now, do all this, people shooting and all that, I just be shaking my head like, you don't have to do that. You don't have to be like that. Yeah. Trust me, when you get.
But you don't think he's really impressionable? Like maybe that's the reason why. Even today, I think a lot of kids, teens, even adults are easily impressionable by society, social media, and stuff like that. And they can have social media, so maybe easily impressionable by what you see.
Right. Now I'm gonna say this, right? And the crazy thing about that is, people know the gang life and stuff like that. People know the street life, whatever. And a lot of times, you see what people say is gangs. It's not gangs. Those are rap cliques that want to be known as gangs because they've seen the respect that gang members get. Because I asked somebody this key question, and it's not throwing a shot at nobody, but you got to think about it. You see the times that we live in now, and the times we living in now is other people are being violent against us. So I asked my one of my friends. He's actually a pastor, and me and him be going at it, back and forth, back and forth. And I asked him, I said, think about it. And this is what people don't understand. You have 5 pastors, right? You have 5 gang members. You have 2 women walking down the block, and then you have a bunch of oppressors oppressing the 2 women. Now they're chasing the 2 women. Who are you going to look for if they're shooting at you? The 2 oppressors. Are you going to look for the pastors at that time, or will you look for the gang members? And I asked him the question. He said, well, if that was me, I would look for the gang members because in my mind, I'm thinking they're going to have the guns. So I'm going to slide by my own people because I know that's immediate protection. Because our core is, you see somebody get attacked, you step out. That's why it gets me so mad. I'll be like, what are y'all doing? I don't
Let
understand.
me ask you a question. Let me ask you a question. What's one thing you would tell your 17-year-old self that you would do differently, that you know now? What would you tell your 17-year-old self?
What would I tell my 17-year-old self? Oh, man. You know what? I should have listened to my mother. Because it was on a Sunday. She was going to night church. We were moving. We were moving. She told me just stay home and pack up. Don't go outside.
Don't go outside.
No. I'm good. She said, but I do need you to go to the store and give me some milk. I said, all right, I got that. I went and got the milk and went right back outside because that's how we met up. But she told me to pack. So I did what I did, came back and started packing like it was like, but she said, what was you doing? She said, what was you doing? There's nothing done. Oh, nothing. I wasn't doing nothing. Whole crime just went on.
Oh my God.
But that's not the only one. There was these females, and this is why I'm saying, like, y'all are some smart individuals. There was 2 females down the block, and they felt we was going to do something. And one of them actually lied and said, yo, I want you to go. My cousin want to talk to you. She lied, though, because she knew we was going to do something dumb. But nah, I didn't do that. I went and did what I wanted to do. And that's why, like, when females tell me certain things, I'm going to eat off of that. Because why did you tell me that? That means you see something. Yeah. So now I need to analyze that. See, I didn't know how to analyze back at 17-year-old. See, if I would have had a father around, he'd have told me, you got to analyze when people give you advice. I never had nobody to tell me to analyze anything.
So Patricia asked, what support system do you have in place to help you keep straight? Like, what do you have? Because you've been straight, like, you haven't had any...
No run-ins?
Listen. Oh, yeah, I have run-ins. I'm not going to say I haven't, but it wasn't criminal run-ins.
Gotcha.
It was more like, when you sit, then this is the dangers of social media. When the police pull you over, why you pull me over? I'm automatically on the defense. Because in my mind, this how I look at it. And it might be sad when people think about it. My life is not going to be somebody like me in my position. The reason why we live like that. You see how people are just trying to discredit George Floyd now, right? Imagine that was me. Oh my goodness gracious! They're gonna say he got exactly what he deserved. So I know my death violently will be stepped on. So I gotta walk differently. I walk different. So, like, now she said the question was like my support system.
Your support system.
You want to know what keeps you straight? Yeah.
Myself. You cannot change unless you change your own mind frame. I had a big homie said, if you want to change your life, you got to change your circle, gang or not. Right. He said it does not matter. You can be around a bunch of dummies that's neutral or gang, or a bunch of smart people that's neutral or gang. It don't matter. Yeah. Because if you want to live the life that you live, you're gonna be right back here with a gang of time. How about that? Or you can get around some real homies and make real change and erect your whole community. So this is what I did. When I came home, what's the one thing people from prison do? Play catch up.
Right.
I changed my mindset. My mother's like, what do you want? I said, I want nothing. You did enough. You did 12 years. I'm good. She said, but I'm good. I'm straight. She said, but you're going to let me struggle. I'm good. Me and her argue. She wanted to help me. No. I'm 30 years old now. I'm good. I came home. Was home for 30 days, got my first job. $7.25 an hour. I put my pride to the side. How you going to have pride after?
Well, you had a felony. What job was this that you got?
I worked at the UPS store because guess what? When you learn the law, you'll know that what? They give them tax breaks for giving ex-felons jobs.
Yeah.
See, this is what I be telling felons, because I used to do because I went into motivational speaking and everything. I worked in a group home, everything. Yeah. So when I came home, I talked to a woman in the workforce. You know, when they have Workforce One right there on Bay Street. Yeah. I was walking to my parole office. I said, I need me a job. I can't have no money. I cannot not have money. I have to have some type of money. I can't even pay a cell phone bill. And if you're doing a prepaid, it only costs $10. I can't even afford that. I got to pay my parole fees. I'm walking by like Workforce One. What is that? I just walked in. It said workforce. So I just went in there because it said workforce. And they did an orientation. And I was going to my parole officer and I was like, okay. And she told me a key thing. She said, everything you did in prison is actually experience. Don't look at it as prison. So I took everything that I did and she helped me with a resume and said, I have experience in this stuff. That got me my first customer service job 30 days after I got home. I'm doing 12 years. So when people sit back and say that ex-felons can't get a job, no, of course I'm not gonna get a job in the bank.
Right.
I got arrested for a manslaughter during a robbery. Why would I go and apply to?
Yeah.
Right. Why would I do that? You got guys that's coming from prison that got.
Because a lot of guys, women think when they come home from jail, that's it. I'm not going to be able to work. How am I going to survive? So that's the info.
Right. So when I came on, I went to. Yep. So I went to the UPS store. People don't understand. You work for UPS? No, the UPS store is a franchise. Go to a franchise where they don't really do background checks.
Right.
Unless it's like you just robbed this. If you have like it's called retail robbery. That's when you won't be able to get a job. Yeah. Because the way they do the penal code, it'll let them know if you robbed an establishment or a person. So I didn't rob an establishment. So and then I said, all right. Then I did a big jump. I said, I'm gonna move to another state, move to Virginia. Mind you, I didn't know the backgrounds of Virginia. But in my mind, so now I got taught in prison to be a different type of thinker. Don't never think that you can't. Think how you want to get. Yeah. I got a job at Costco from Staten Island by calling and applying. Kept on applying, kept on calling, kept on getting on their nerve, calling them.
Did you admit when they would ask you were you ever convicted of a crime on your application? Did you admit you were convicted?
And that's the key. I didn't have to. See with y'all with women.
You're about to drop some jewels.
I'm about to drop some jewels that help people get jobs out here.
Yeah, okay.
It's two criminal background questions you gotta look out for. Have you ever and in the last? They said, have you been convicted of a crime in the last 7 years? No. Right. Because it was 13 years ago at the time. Right. Look at the wording.
What about when you just got out? What about if you just getting out looking for a job? Like, yeah, you can say, but it was been, huh?
No, look at the question. Have you been convicted in the last 7 years? No. In 2005.
Right, I get what you're saying.
I don't understand.
Convicted in 2005.
I got convicted in 1993. This is 2006. So if you minus 2006 to about 7 years, that's what 1999.
I know that. No, I'm saying for me, like say I'm a convict, I'm just getting out and I need a job. But that's when you really need a job is when you get out. Like what was for somebody that just getting out and got to answer a question like that?
All right, so when I went to the UPS store, they asked me, have I ever been convicted of a crime? Yes. They like, what is it? Because they can fire you if you lie and they find out. Yeah. So I said, yeah. So I had that conversation with them. So when I see, I keep it real. I said, look, do y'all hire ex-felons? Straight up. We're not even going to waste no time if you don't hire ex-felons. Do you hire ex-felons? They said, yeah. Most jobs nowadays hire ex-felons, depending on what you did and how long you've been out. Because I don't know if it was either Bush or Obama when they told me you got to take that off the application. But I came out when they had that on application. So when they say, if you see something that says, have you been? It's two questions. Have you ever been convicted of crime, and have you been convicted of crime in the last, I think, either 5 or 7 years? But then it got the part two of that question. Have you been released from prison in the last 3 years? Now that's the one I had to say yeah to, because I was released the year before.
But you still got jobs, so that's definitely
facts. Because you know why? Because then I tried my luck. So I did research. This is why I tell people do a lot of research. I did some research. I said let me look at some. Oh, I can work in a group home. Because I don't have no crime against kids or domestic violence.
Okay.
Right.
So I applied. They hired me. No, they told me, you're the perfect person to teach these teenagers how not to get in trouble.
Yeah.
So then I met a probation officer, right? When I met a probation officer, they was like, yo, I need somebody to talk to the people who's coming from prison. We'll pay you to do that. That led me into the motivational speaking. Nice. Because the reason why is because now I say, I want to start my own business. I don't want to work for nobody no more. I don't care about that. Or I can do both. How about I do both?
Right.
So I went and got my LLC. So I was married to Karima. I don't know if you know Karima. We talked about it before, but she put me on to that. She said, yo, why don't you get your own business? Because then you don't have to worry about applying for jobs at all. Because creativity comes with a thought. Like these, I make these. I went to Costco today. A guy asked me, "Where's your card? I want to buy one." Well, you see, we don't understand that we're walking billboards, but we don't understand that we're walking billboards.
Yeah.
So I was like, so I started my LLC, personal training, but I was eating reckless. Then I said, wait a minute. You start thinking. I was working in the group home. They got in trouble because the kids in the group home, they was, all messed up, like eating reckless. So what I did was figured out nutrition. That's the niche right there, is nutrition. So I got into nutrition, heavy, going to school, got a degree. So it can be done. You just got to know what you're looking for. You got to know what you're looking for. People just go out and apply anywhere. You can't do that when you have a felony. You have to really do research. Just like when men research where the female's at and who's calling her and where she's at, you got to do the same thing with your life. They want to know everything y'all doing. Where you was at? Look, I was saying y'all earlier. Y'all have me dying over here. I'm over here listening to y'all. I was like, oh, nah, I'm not sharing no man. Yo.
Listen, you know what, too? I also believe, too, because you didn't take no for an answer. You was persistent. You know what I'm saying? And you was like, all right, they don't take me. Somebody gonna take me. You did your research. You know what I'm saying? I think that played a big part too.
Yeah.
Facts, because it's like this, right? I have a pit bull. I have 2 twin nephews. One is scared, one isn't. What do you think the pit bull attacks all the time? He don't attack them, but he be jumping on them, licking on them and all that, because he knows you're scared.
Right.
You have no confidence.
You're right.
Going in with confidence. And then I told him, I said straight up and down, yo, I can bring value to, and this is about what you say too. I can bring value to this business right now.
Yeah.
Because I'm a valuable person. We devalue ourselves. That's why we need y'all to protect us verbally, because we already devalue ourselves. And I don't care what nobody say. When you see a black man getting destroyed in the streets, as a black woman that's out there, she's the voice piece. That's all y'all should be. Y'all should not. Yo, and I know people watching, they should not be sitting back letting women get beat up and recording it. What are you doing? Why are you recording it? That's crazy to me. Y'all voice is all we should need to tune in.
Yeah.
That's the support system. So my mother told me, you need to get your own business. Karima told me, you need to get your own business. My homeboys in them, my mans in them, they ain't gonna hide you, son. You an ex-felon. No, I'm not listening to y'all. Yeah, I turned my back because that's how I went to jail. Listening to them, these voices, the male voice told me to be like this.
Yeah.
The female voice told me don't do that.
Yeah.
So I said the first time I listened to the male voice, I did 12 years. So now I'm gonna cut that off because you shouldn't have to keep on going through the same thing over and over again. I'm gonna cut that off, and I'm gonna listen to the female voice. Go and get your own business. What happens is, and the universe speaks to you. They tell you, all right, so this is what we're gonna do for you, because you have that drive. We're gonna give you an opportunity because you're not taking no. I didn't feel there was time I filled out 50 applications and laughed at all of them. Yeah, I'll probably get that one. Oh, they called me back. I don't know if I'm gonna get. Yeah, I started getting cocky with it because now the universe is saying you're gonna get. If you call me back for an interview, you already want to hire me. So now here comes the trick. Legally, I changed my name last year. I was going by my name first. I said now I'm gonna show everybody that a name that sounds like a terrorist is gonna get a job.
But you're not going for a job because you have your own businesses, so it's not like you don't have to go for a job though now, right?
No, but I like to show people how you can win.
Okay.
Yeah.
So now they call me because of my resume, not because of my name. Look at my name. My son Nasir. Oh, I don't want him working for me. They don't want that. They don't want you working for them because they thinking what? He's a terrorist.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But
And
they saw what I.
that's definitely a non-white.
Right. So they saw my resume.
Yeah.
Accomplishments. Personal training certificate, personal training degree, TRX certified, nutritionist. I did bodybuilding, boxing, you name it. I don't work at Costco. I don't work at group homes. So now they see all this experience. I was a personal training director at Gold's Gym. So now you work for a major company.
Yeah.
This guy must really know what he's doing.
That's what's up. I commend you. So I just want to read some of these comments. My mom was like, she's glad you turned your life around.
Oh yeah, she helped me out with my broken arm.
My mom said she felt guilty about that though till this day, but she's okay. But uncovering the new you said he's proud of you. I don't know, it might be a she. And Lamont said, huh?
You said uncovering the new you?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's Nisha right there. She's one of my trainers that used to work with me.
Oh,
She a beast now. I told her to get your own business. She got her own business, living in Atlanta, gym, everything, doing her numbers.
I love personal training. I love your videos too. It's inspiring. So anything inspiring. Lamont Payton said wise words. And Miss W, is there a book in your future? You have a great story.
I'm saying
you
this.
definitely need to put out a book.
The biggest mistake ever. The biggest mistake ever is in streets. I hate the streets. Even though people like, but you know what? I don't have to be like that to be in something. Mm-hmm. I can encourage something in a different way. The streets is a death trap, a straight death trap, because they got one outcome for you, just one, and it's gonna be death either mentally or death physically.
Yeah,
I see that every day that I walk out the house. I'm like, yeah, this can be the last day I walk out this house. So I'm going to live my life to the fullest every single day. Yeah. Because it's not a game. With the mask, it's so bad that I got into beef with the mask because I had the police crack my ribs, dislocated my shoulders. So now I can't breathe right. So when you putting on the mask, I can't breathe with the mask on, so I don't go nowhere. I'm not wearing it. I refuse.
Wow. But because I'm sorry. Okay, go on.
Yeah, no, yeah.
No, I want to say because you're doing a motivational speaking, and then so that's always good too. But like Miss W said, are you going to do a book, or what's the outcome of that? What's that? You should do a book.
You know, I was thinking about it.
You can help. You need to get your word needs to be spread to people that you can help. There's a lot of felons out there that probably don't see the opportunities that you have gotten and you see.
Right.
Yeah.
Because I was thinking about a book, but I like helping people personally because mentally we're done. No, and what I mean by done,
a book will spread out to people that really you can't just help them one-on-one. You need a bigger audience. I think a book, you can find somebody that's going to write that book for you.
Oh yeah, I was thinking about that story crazy because I'll be listening. I'll be thinking. If I told you the harvest that's in there, I don't know if people know that Benny Siegel song, "What's Your Life Like."
Yeah.
Everything he said in that song is real.
Really?
Everything. You hear late at night. You hear grown men moan at night. They got you stuck in the can. Yo, I'm telling you, when they lock you down and that door closed, you stuck in there.
Yeah.
You stuck. It's the hardest thing is getting out. And something that's even harder than that is staying out, because you start giving up quick.
Yeah.
And you don't really want to give up quick. I don't care what curveball life throws me. It's always a solution.
You know what's major? What's major to me? I feel like because you were so young, a lot of these young cats out here can take your story and change their life. You know what I'm saying? Do a 360. So I would encourage you to do a book. Also, this is my last question, right? You have a group of young men, 14, 15, 16 in a room. You're the speaker. What are encouraging words would you tell them? What's inspiring words where where you grew up in the projects, rough life, no debt. What are the things that you can encourage them to do, not to go in that same path that you walked in?
Stop being so angry. We mad at everything, everybody. Stop being so angry. When you're young like that, we blame everybody. I didn't have this. Even though I said, I didn't have my dad around, but that's just for him to put me on point. But we mad at everything, everybody, and we don't know how to take the anger out. We take it out physically instead of learning. Just think about it. We know the police mess with us. Just imagine if you knew the law. You could stop them right in their tracks before they even get a word out.
It's true.
So we learning the wrong stuff. You're supposed to learn. You're supposed to add on. So if you are out there in the streets and the police do approach you, you know what I'm saying? Like, even though your hands up is a surrender, that's a surrender sign. Me personally, I don't put my hands up. I'm like, what's going on? You all right? And I'm not gonna answer questions for you. They be like, you live around here? What is it to you? Why? Why you asking me that? I want to know why. I'm just not gonna start answering questions. Why?
Right.
And we get scared. I'm not doing nothing. That's the first thing. The first sign, you throw your hands up. Right then and there, they attack you like the pit bull. Now they're gonna attack you. I had police come up to me when I moved out here at first. Nobody saw me. And when he saw me when I was walking, I just looked at him. He's like, I don't want no problem. I just want to, this is a private street. And I don't know the laws out here in North Carolina. And they was like, you just can't, this is a private street, so they can call the police and on you. I was like, who called the police? That's when he knew I knew something, because I asked him who. Then I said, the constitutional law, the 6th Amendment, the 5th Amendment says I have the right to liberty and the pursuit of happiness. I want to know who called me, because this is cruel and unusual punishment. This is an 8th Amendment violation. I need to know who called, because I am living my life free and I'm not doing anything. So I should be able to walk wherever I want. When I said that, he just stopped and said, listen, I just want to make sure you're here to make sure these people are safe out here. Safe from who? I should be the one feel threatened, because I'm the one that's getting, my kind is getting slaughtered. So, and then he just like, you know what? Okay, you have a good day. And then he just left. I didn't have to do all that abrasive stuff. That's what I gave him, and he left.
Wow.
Okay. Okay. I just want to read Sandra Muhammad's comment. The road to self comes with many trials and tribulations. Continue to go in, son. Knowledge is power. And my brother said he's gonna do a documentary.
Facts. You already know, Jay. You know how we do.
So I think we did a great job at covering your whole story. Like, it is definitely
absolutely. We appreciate you.
Convict,
no question.
Ex-felon or not ex-felon, is inspiring to me, to us, to everyone could relate.
Well, I appreciate y'all having me up here.
So we usually do a final thought. We're gonna go with our final thought. My final thought. Huh?
Who's going first?
I'll go. My final thought is just because your life hits a hard one, or you hit trials and tribulations, it's not over.
Right.
It's not over. And the things that we go through is temporarily. It's for our strength. It's for more wisdom. It's for the lessons in it. And it's for somebody to learn from us. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
You can help somebody. And that's why I encourage you to keep doing your motivational speaking, especially for these young cats out here, because they need it. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
We got a lot of young guys out here that's just like doing crazy things. And I was going to ask you too, when we, you know, as growing up, when we're young, we need some more Big Brother like programs, or do they got Boy Scouts anymore out there? You know, like little stuff like that, free programs that'll help the young kids be active and proactive and stay out of trouble. But so that's my thought. My thought is, you know, it's not over until it's over, and keep pushing.
But you know what? That's what they did though. You know, when we were growing up, we had community centers, and I seen how they destroyed it. Because you got to think about it like this.
No more, right?
Nope. Because guess what? Now you just pushed us all out in the streets.
Yeah.
See, now just imagine we had a community center and we can hold classes in there. They won't be in the streets. They'll be learning other stuff in the class. A skill. Having a skill was the biggest aspect. Ex-felon. Right. You need a skill, because I don't care how many felonies you got. If you know how to do something.
Right.
Can't beat somebody who know how to do something.
Facts.
Yeah. So I'll go with my final thought. You go last, Rasun. I'll just you the guest. So my final thought is, you know, just don't give up like you, because that relates to the story. Like, just there's so many opportunities. Even when you're down and out, there's always a way. You just cannot give up. You have to pull that strength within you, no matter what you're going through. I don't care if you're depressed about your man left you or it's a murder. Like, just don't ever give up. Just kind of, you know, just look at the positive and know that it's days that you will go through. And you've been through your and you came through it bigger and stronger. So I just recommend that everybody just do the same. Like, just like with you, just like with all of us, we all dug out like through the strength and just powered on, and we all just gotta just dig within ourselves and just keep it going. We gotta survive life in us. If you got life in you, you can keep it moving. I don't care what you're going through.
Yeah,
that's right.
True.
That's right.
So you go on with your final thought.
All right, so my final thought, and looking at my past and stuff like that, I'm gonna tell the youngsters out there, watch who you hang out with, because you never know what's on their agenda when you're with them. Because you can get jammed up, not even know you're about to get jammed up. Because if they think that you're gonna be a certain way, they're gonna use that as the heart that they didn't have. So now, and when it comes down to all the ex-felons, all the people who can't get jobs, everybody's struggling right now. Look, just like everything that's going on, a no, one no, two no, three no, you're gonna get 3 or 4 or 5 yeses. You just gotta go for what you know how to do. Stop trying to do what everybody else is doing.
Yeah,
like all right, so for instance, like these young ladies right here, they're doing a podcast. All of us is not built for podcasts. Maybe we can do some writing. Do what you know that you can do, and master that.
Yeah.
I mean, of course, I was watching y'all going on trips and all that. I'm like, I want to go out the country. I want to go get my passport. I want to do that. But then at the same time, I came home and had 4 children, 3 sons and a girl. If you talk to them, nothing like me. You're not going to be nothing like me. And if you ask them, they'll tell you what, I'm going to be better. Be better than your dad. Because I took what I didn't have, and I made it my business to be better for them. Because my life, I didn't live my life already. So, and then like, that's what I'm saying. Because a lot of us got kids, and we just teaching them what we know. No, you teach them to be better, because what we know is what we were taught, because we were forced to learn that way. So you just don't. I'm never giving up. I got business ideas right now. Soon as we done here, I'm going back on the books. I done ordered about 30 books. While this thing going on, everybody in the house, you know, and just, I'm like, yo, do not fall victim to society and the news. Turn the TV off. Pick a book up. Remember with the guy who wrote, I forgot his name because he got the Japanese guy who wrote Rich Dad Poor Dad, and I got that other video I put up there.
I want that book right now. I'm about to read. Rich
Yep,
Dad.
millionaires read.
Yeah.
You have all the time in the world right now to read. There's no reason we should not be reading and getting on point. Because I read over 100, about maybe 200 books that whole time. Every last one of my books, the shortest book that I read was 300 pages. The longest was 2,000 pages. You should not be reading James Patterson books all day.
That's my favorite author. Wait, hold on.
No, he's mine too. But you can't read that all day.
I love me some James Patterson.
But you can't read that all day.
You 100% right though.
You gotta read what's going to build you up. So we reading True to the Game, and that's we're trying to live that out. Remember, whatever you read, you try to live it out. True to the Game. Oh, I'm gonna be like him. I'm gonna be like Omar from The Wire. I'm gonna be like this guy from Oz. No, turn it off. Turn the TV off. Pick a book up and be like that. See how they did that and do that.
Yeah,
that's what you do. That's how you stay on top of the game. That's how you stay on top of the game. And then the black woman is gonna respect you more because now she's seeing how you're moving, not what you're saying.
Okay.
Yeah, I told you, I'll be watching y'all podcast. They're not listening to what you're saying, they watching what you're doing.
Okay.
I enjoyed you.
Yeah, you schooled it right in.
Yes. I encourage you to keep moving on, keep doing your thing, your book, documentary, whatever it is.
Yes,
you got my support
for you to spread the word.
Yeah, gotcha. I'm in there.
Thank you so much. We appreciate you. Thank you, everybody in our live chat. We so heart you. Everybody saying keep on keeping on. They saying outstanding interview. Thank you guys for sharing this time with us. And next Sunday, 5 p.m.
Yeah,
I'll be there.
I'll
be there.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Yes.
Got you.
All right, thank you, guys.
All right.
All right, Lita.